guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading, we'll be doing the general reading for the month of December 2017. Hard to believe that we are entering the last month of the year. This year certainly seems to have gone by very quickly. Just a couple of announcements before we actually get into the reading. First of all, for today's reading, I will be doing a 10-card Celtic cross spread using the Crystal Visions Tarot deck. I'll pull one additional card from the Soul's Journey Lesson Card deck by James van Praagh. If I need to clarify anything, I will probably use the Sibylla's, or I might use the Shadowscapes Tarot deck. But I will leave all of the information on the decks that I use in the reading in the description box below the video. These are, just to remind everybody, these are general readings for each of the astrological signs. So the messages may or may not resonate with you. The only way that you can really get, a personalized reading that really focuses on you and what's going on specifically in your life is by ordering a private reading. If you're interested in getting a private reading with me, all of the information can be found on my website. That is changingphasestarot.weebly.com. You can also email me at changingphasestarot@gmail.com. And just to let you know, during the month of December, I will put out, in addition to this general reading, I will put out the mid-monthly reading focusing on love and career and finance. And I will put out one additional video for the upcoming years. That will be a special 2018 preview focusing on the energy surrounding us for each of the months of 2018. And that will be for each of the astrological signs. So be looking out for that as well. And I'm wishing everybody a wonderful month. This is a month with lots of holidays. It's the holiday season. So I'm sending much love and light your way. Okay, give me 1 second and I will be right back with the shuffle. See you in a minute. Hi Taurus, I hope you're doing well. So I'm here today to do your December 2017 reading. I have already meditated and have been shuffling the cards off camera, but I'll give the cards a few more shuffles here just to make sure that we have the correct energies for this monthly reading. So Spirit, what does the Earth sign Taurus need to know for December 2017? Please show us the messages. What are the energies surrounding Taurus in the month, okay, that felt right, of December 2017? Okay, Taurus, we have, let me move these over. I'll shuffle these in 1 second. At the center of the reading, we have the Devil. Crossing the Devil, we have the Queen of Swords. The foundation of your reading is the Five of Cups. In the past position, you have the Three of Cups. Crowning your reading, you have the Empress, Major Arcana number 3. In the future position, you have the Five of Pentacles. You in the reading appear as the Lovers, Major Arcana number 6. Surrounding you in your environment, you have Major Arcana number 8, Strength. Your hopes and fears, Major Arcana number 10, the Wheel of Fortune. And the outbound energy for the month of December, the Two of Swords. And the overall energy for the month, the card at the bottom of the deck, is the Knight of Wands. Okay, let me set this down. Now we're looking for one additional card from the Soul's Journey deck. So Spirit, what does Taurus need to hear? One more message for Taurus for the month of December 2017. What does Taurus need to hear? Please give us one additional message for the Earth sign Taurus for December 2017. What does Taurus need to hear? Okay. And you have the card Friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. Very beautiful. Okay, and set this here for 1 second. One card from the Soulful Woman deck. So Spirit, one additional message for the Earth sign Taurus for the month of December 2017. What does Taurus need to hear? Please give us one additional message for Taurus. What does Taurus need to hear for the month of... Okay, that one flipped. And the card is number 14, Asking Opens a Pathway. Okay, give me 1 second here. Let me set the cards up so we can see them a little better, and I will be right back with your reading, Taurus. All right, Taurus, I've set everything up here. There are 2 cards that I think I'm going to clarify here, which would be the 5 of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups. So we're using the Shadowscapes Tarot to clarify. So Spirit, what additional messages do you have for Taurus on the 5 of Cups? What does Taurus need to know? What additional messages do you have on the 5 of Cups? Okay, there we go. And on the 5 of Cups, we have, the first card out is the Hanged Man. The second card, the 4 of Swords. And the third card, the 6 of Wands. Okay, let me pull on the 5 of Pentacles and then we'll get into the reading. So Spirit, what additional messages do you have for the 5 of Pentacles for Taurus, December 2017? What does Taurus need to hear? What are the additional messages? Clarify the 5 of Pentacles. Divide into 3. Okay, so we have as the first card the High Priestess, followed by the 3 of Wands, and the 6 of Pentacles. Okay. All right. Let me set this down over here to move it out of the way. Sorry for sticking my arm in front of everything. There. Okay. So let's begin with the overall energy for the reading for this the month of December for you, Taurus. You have the Knight of Wands. Now, this is not your energy, right? Obviously, you are an earth sign, and the wand suit is fire energy. But the suit of fire, or suit of wands, it has to do with creativity, creative projects, the work that we do, our daily activities, determination, courage, artistic endeavors. And with this knight, this could be, let me just look over here at your reading. I don't see other court card. I know you have just the Queen of Swords in the middle, but we'll get to her. Okay. So when the court cards appear, they can be people that we're interacting with, right? That might be significant during this month of December. If so, this would be typically a middle-aged fire sign male, which would be either a Leo or a Sagittarius or an Aries. But in the general readings, we know that gender that is not gender specific, so this could be male or female. Generally, somebody in their 30s, 40s, middle aged, and this would be somebody who is very charismatic, right? Somebody who really sort of sets out to get things done, is very full of life, very confident, adventurous. Um, Out of all of the knights, the Knight of Wands is the fastest moving because it's fire energy. So, many times he sort of rushes in, very eager to get started on a project, or, very eager to begin, say, a new job, or, whatever it is that he is going after, he comes in quickly, right? If this is not a person, this could be a situation that you are experiencing during the month, or this could also be the energy that you are taking on during the month. If so, then we know that the pages in the tarot, which is the card immediately before the knight, the pages are the ones who sort of, they have the spark. They have that, the spark of an idea or the spark of this new creative project. But they don't really act on it. So they are messengers. They bring in the news of something. They bring in the new idea. And then usually the knights are the ones who act on it. So, this could just be you during the month of December acting on something, right? Feeling very confident, feeling very passionate and full of life about something, feeling quite adventurous as you embark upon something here. And we do see, I'll go through all of the cards, obviously, but I see that there are changes. So changes with the Wheel of Fortune over here, decisions to be made, which is, I also see with the Queen of Swords, and then the Two of Swords is the outbound energy, but we'll get to that. So lots of creative energy and, this passionate really will to get things done this month, which is good because typically December is quite a busy month for everybody. So it's good to have that energy as you enter into the month. Now, starting off with here in the main reading, move these cards out of the way. At the center, so you have the Devil, which is Major Arcana, crossed by the Queen of Swords. And you do have quite a few Major Arcana cards. You have you have 5 out of your 10 cards are Major Arcana cards. So, half of your readings. I would say that there is definitely, the universe is sort of stepping in this month. There's quite a bit of divine intervention, divine guidance. But with the Devil is a card that represents some type of tie to something, right? So, and typically it's more negative than positive, right? So we think of it usually having to do with being tied to material possessions or something in the material realm. Or it could be, being tied to an unhealthy relationship, one of those toxic relationships that even though, there might be other people that can sort of see you in the relationship and kind of ask, well, why does she stay in that? Or why does he stay in that relationship? You're kind of bound to that unhealthy situation or that toxic relationship. You refuse to see things for what they are. And I like that the Queen of Swords is crossing it because, if you have been unwilling to see something for what it is, and, I see that also with this Two of Swords. The Queen of Swords is somebody who comes in and says, well, let me clarify everything for you. Let me cut through the BS. Let me cut through all of these, the smoke and mirrors, and let me show you what the truth is. Sometimes this Queen of Swords, again, this could be a person that you're dealing with, but I don't get that off of the card. I get that it's more, you taking on this energy during the month of December. This is air energy, and air energy has to do with our thoughts. So it's cerebral energy, our thoughts, and the way that our thoughts and our intellect sort of how they affect all the other aspects, all the other parts of our lives. It also has to do with communication. It has to do with, um, also how our thoughts are very powerful things, right? And the Queen of Swords herself, she is, sometimes she's known as the divorced woman card. She's somebody who definitely, yeah, she's feminine, but she's, a very stern figure, right? She's not a warm and fuzzy kind of person. She rules with her head over her heart. So if there's a decision to be made, if there's truth to be found out, then she will definitely cut through everything, cut to the chase, see things for what they really are. She's very wise. She's a fair person, very honest. And even though you know, she would prefer to keep things sort of more civilized. She doesn't like to, get into arguments or things like that. If she has to, she's ready for battle. You see that she has her sword drawn here, the sword of justice, of truth, right? And surrounding her, we have butterflies. And typically, butterflies symbolize rebirth, right? And newness and new things coming in. So there could very well be, you sort of needing to cut the ties with something in your life, whether it's a toxic relationship, or any other type of, addiction here in the material realm. And this can be many different things, Sometimes this card is associated, the devil card I'm referring to, sometimes it's associated with, actual addiction. So alcoholism or drug addiction or, things like that. It could also be addiction to other things such as shopping, shopping addiction, which is, can be quite dangerous this time of the year with the holiday season and all of the sales going on. And, it seems easier than normal to get online and buy things. So whatever this, and however this addiction or addictive behavior, however it resonates for you in your particular life and situation, the Queen of Swords is really just you cutting through everything and really seeing things for what they are during this month, which is it's a great energy to have, right? Because she does have, we see sort of around her head that the clouds of doubt are kind of parting, and what she has is this light, and this light off of the sword. So there is this light of hope here. So things are improving with this. So whatever this has been possibly holding you back, she comes in, the Queen of Swords, to really move you forward, to see things for what they are and to move you forward. Now you have as the foundation of your reading the Five of Cups. Cups is water energy. This has to do with our emotions, our feelings. And the Five of Cups, it's a card of feeling, sort of very down, feeling down about a loss of something. And you can see here that the woman, she's gazing down into the water. She's very focused on the three cups that have spilled out. So focusing on something that she lost that brought great sadness into her life, made her feel very sad about things. But she's only focused on, what she no longer has or what this loss was. She doesn't even pay attention to, she has these two little fairies, these two beautiful cups, which, it looks almost like the Two of Cups, which is the soulmate card. There are these two cups being offered to her. They're hovering around her head. So there is this offering, or there is this new relationship, or new offering of love, or new offering of something that's going to bring a lot of joy to her life. But she has her eyes closed to it. So again, and we see that with the Two of Swords, she also has her eyes closed there. And with the Queen of Swords, needing to cut through things, I get the message that I'm getting from these cards is that there's something that, you haven't been willing to see, and you need to open up your eyes to that. But you also need to open up your eyes to these opportunities that are around you. There seems to be, instead of just focusing on your grief and your loss, right? Open up your eyes and really focus on what you have here. And this could be many different things. It doesn't just have to be, a loss in, say, a relationship. Yes, it's cups energy, water energy, but this could also have to do with, maybe you fell short of a goal in the work environment. Maybe you, had set a goal for yourself and you didn't reach the goal. Or maybe, you're feeling very down at work. Maybe the job that you're doing isn't that fulfilling for you. And so you're really focused on what doesn't fulfill you in that job. But maybe there are opportunities within the company or within the, wherever it is that you work. There are other opportunities there for you. You're just not, opening your eyes and being more sort of open-minded and seeing them and noticing them, right? You're just more focused on sort of the negative. So this is a card that asks us to get out of that pessimistic thinking and, pay attention to new opportunities that are around us. We have to have an open mind in order to see them, right? And the cards that came out on the Five of Cups, I did show you already, but the Hangman in the past position, which he's all about, well, he's an interesting card because it does have to do with waiting, right? He's obviously suspended here from the tree. So it does, it hints to this need, in the past, you were waiting on something, he actually isn't tied. Usually in a lot of the decks, he's represented as being sort of tied up in the tree and unable to move. Here, he just has his knees kind of hooked around the branch. So it's even easier for him to, flip his legs over the branch and get out of the position that he's in. But he has to give in to this, right? He has to surrender to this because, and it's interesting because they're also the same sort of fairies that are flying around her here, they're also flying around him. You see, they're sort of flying around his head, trying to tell him something, trying to bring news into him. And while he's upside down, he's able to gain a new perspective, to see things from a different angle. And I think that's what you're being asked here, right? Instead of focusing on things, if he were right way up here, he wouldn't be able to see things from the same perspective, right? To see things from this new angle. If he was right way up, he would only be looking up here. Here, he's seeing all of the little, it looks like these little, the nymphs and the wood, people coming out of the wood and the fairies around him. So he's seeing all this new, energy or new opportunities around him, but only because he's surrendered and he's, seeing things from this new perspective. The Four of Swords is another card that has a waiting energy attached to it. So you might have, you might have been going through this kind of trying to see things from a different perspective, really take time out for yourself, because that's what the Four of Swords does. It's dealing with thoughts because it's air energy again. But typically it's about withdrawing and, looking within, trying to figure out what the next step is. So if this was, some type of loss that you have suffered here, then, and this could be loss in any area. This has been you taking time out to really reflect on yourself, to do some, sort of healing. It's a card of healing. It's a card of recuperation, which brings you to the Six of Wands, which is the card of victory. So whatever you have been through recently, as far as reflecting and trying to see things from a new perspective, in doing so, you're going to be victorious, right? You have the Victor card here. And, what's coming up here, or even though this is in the past position, but it's sort of related because it's a card of celebration. So you have the Victor card here, which is the Six of Wands. It's all about feeling very victorious, feeling or being recognized, achieving recognition for something. This could be at work, this could be getting a promotion, so being, really standing out, people noticing you, but also achievement, so you've achieved something. Then in the past, we have the Three of Cups, and the Three of Cups has to do with, it's more water energy, but it's a celebration, right? And this can be, again, in a general reading, it can be many different things. This could just be a gathering of friends, which, coming together at a party or going out to have dinner together. It could also be something, a little more than that, such as finding out news about news of a pregnancy or news of a birth or news of, celebrating somebody getting married, or news of a proposal. There's a definite, good fortune, connecting with others, abundance as well. All of those things are tied in with this card. And you see that the three cups that are floating here, right? And she's looking very sad about those three cups. They appear right here. And in this card, it's very positive, right? So there's lots of positive energy surrounding this get together and the Three of Cups celebration right here. I'm sorry, not you. The crowning card for the reading is the Empress. So this is a major arcana card, and the Empress is kind of, she's just like the Emperor's the archetypical male figure in the deck. She is the woman. So she is the great Earth Mother. She is the great mother. You see that in this deck, she's portrayed as being pregnant. So she's all about abundance, right? And in the garden around her, everything is very abundant. There's lots of fruit hanging from the trees. You see there's wheat growing behind her. So lots of abundance. And she also, you see there's also the butterflies flying around her again. So, new life coming in. And when she appears, it can be this expansive energy, right? So she's expanding. There's an expansion in some area of your life. And this is, the message from your higher self. This is the crowning card for the reading. So and we have the three. So there's a three with the Three of Cups, followed by the three, which is the Empress here. So expansion. So you're looking to expand in some way, right? And if this is, and it's a card of abundance. It's a card of, if we think of it in the work sense, right? It's an expansive. So, this could be a new project, and a new project kind of really taking off and growing, or this could be you expanding, growing into a new position within the company, right? So moving up from one level to another, right? There's a definite, progression and expansion energy attached to this card. And yes, she's the goddess of fertility, but it's all about, new projects and making those new things grow. Just like, obviously she's pregnant, so we think about pregnancy and, the growth that occurs and what occurs to the woman during pregnancy. It's the same idea with any sort of area of your life, right? That area of your life expanding and growing, right? But a definite, it's a very beautiful card. We have the, and also the life and rebirth. So, sometimes if we're starting off in a new career, it is like, a new chance at life, a new path for us to go on. So expansive energy here. What's coming up in the future is the Five of Pentacles, and I did pull clarifiers on that. So the Five of Pentacles, it's earth energy. So this has to do with the material realm, has to do with the work that we do, the money that we earn from the work that we do, or the material things that we are able to purchase with our money. It has to do with education. It has to do with like our home, and it's very grounded energy, right? So earthy, grounded energy. The Five of Pentacles is a card of lack. The fives in the tarot, they do represent some type of lack. For example, the Five of Cups, there's a lack, right, of emotional fulfillment. Here it's a lack of money, or a feeling of there being a lack of money, right? And on the card in this deck is represented by the woman. She's sitting in this cold, snowy forest with her child. She has 5 coins around her, but they're, kind of in the cold of the ground. And it's, there's this lack of material prosperity here. This can sometimes indicate loss of a job or poor health, financial insecurity. It can also just represent, feeling alone, feeling abandoned, feeling very anxious, because of that. but it's also a reminder that, okay, maybe you have been experiencing, or this is coming up in the future, so maybe there might be some type of anxiety tied to finances or prosperity. But it's always important to remember that, spiritually, or in the family sense, we might be lacking in money, but we do have family around us, which is quite apt at this time of the year when we seem to be spending more than normal, and maybe we are very anxious about that, but we do have family members around us, and so even though we're lacking on the one hand, then we have the love and the support of the family members on the other. And the cards that came out on that, we have the High Priestess, which is the major arcana, and it has to do with she is somebody who, she's very powerful. She uses her intuition to guide her, right? And here she has also, the very wise owl flying beneath her there. And so when she comes in, she really she brings in a sense of calm, because she does ask us to sort of tap into our intuition and our wisdom. She's holding this pomegranate, which is also a fruit of fertility. We had that here with the Empress as well. So needing to sort of listen to your inner voice with whatever you're dealing with this Five of Pentacles. And it seems as though there is some type of decision to be made. Another 3 card. So we had, the 3 of Cups, the Empress, which is a 3, and the 3 of Wands is that card of expansion, but it's more of, waiting for your ships to come in. So whatever energy, whatever work you have put into something, right? And this is sort of waiting for the return on investment from the 2 of Wands. The 2 of Wands is making that choice, making the decision, choosing a path. The 3 is sort of waiting to see the results of that choice. And it is, it's looking out to sea. Usually the man is looking out, waiting for his ships to come in. So this could have to do with news coming in from afar, news coming in from, another city or state or overseas, another country. And the last card that was the clarifier on the 5 of Pentacles is the 6 of Pentacles, which is another Pentacles card. And it's a card that has to do with balance, right? And you see the way it's portrayed on this card, or in this deck, we have the 6 coins, and they're, floating down here, watering, really giving nourishment to this little green flower, or, this sort of beginning of a tree or flower down here. So it's a card of typically of balance, the 6 of Pentacles. It's a card that speaks of, there are some times in our lives when we are the ones who, maybe have more or in a better financial position than others, and so we are able to give to those people, right? And then there are other times when we are on the receiving end of things, right? And it's sort of that cycle, the cycle of dependencies, right? Between the people that have more financially or materially and those who don't, right? And it's kind of like that revolving, makes me think of this Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. And when you're on the receiving end, it asks us to to be receptive and to be thankful for what we are receiving. So if this is us feeling slightly anxious, then maybe, it's time to ask for the help or receive the help if somebody comes in and offers you a loan, if somebody comes in to help you in some way. And if this is on sort of the other end, this is you having money, then, then do your part and help somebody else. Or maybe you borrowed money from somebody and this is you repaying the money. So it's a card of balance, but it's a card of giving and receiving, right? And this can be in the form of material possessions. A loan could just be in knowledge, right? Giving and receiving of knowledge. So, it's the card that comes after the 5 of Pentacles. So I feel that, with this anxiety that you might be experiencing, you're being asked to, to be more receptive to, if you need help from somebody, to extend your hand and receive the help. Is what I'm getting from the clarifiers on this Five of Pentacles. Now you appear as the Lovers, with the Strength card, another major arcana, as your surrounding energy. So beginning with the Lovers, yes, it can be a soulmate connection with somebody else. It's also a card that has to do with choices again. And so we see, the choices kind of come up again. And the outbound energy is also a choice card, but it's an unwillingness to make a choice, because it's a head or heart decision, right? When the Lovers card comes in, it's a card that tells us that, there's a decision to be made. Should you go with what your head is telling you or what your heart or your intuition is telling you? It can have to do with, a very strong connection to another person. That soulmate connection. So this could be, with another, like a romantic connection with somebody. It doesn't necessarily have to be. It could just be, a very empathetic connection or a deep kinship or strong friendship, right? It's all about, with the soulmate connection, it's when we see ourselves in another person or in the other person, right? As the other person is sort of the mirror of ourselves. So sometimes this can be a very, harmonious and beautiful experience. And other times it can be quite challenging because, it's not that easy to look into the mirror and, and have your imperfections or, reflected back at you. So, but it's about how together the two people, they're sort of joined together here with the red. You see the red ribbon sort of tying them, much like a marriage ceremony, and how they are stronger and better and more complete as one than separate. So, and then with the Strength card, it's card number 8, and it's associated with typically with the sign of Leo. But it's a card that speaks of not physical strength, but emotional strength. So having the emotional strength to face something, to get through something, right? Having the inner strength and courage and patience and willpower, as opposed to just physical power, right? And it also, I covered it up. We have eagles soaring around their heads, which, they represent sort of vision and determination and power. So I keep getting, the message of like vision, foresight, seeing things clearly, having this inner strength and courage to see something clearly, and it's related to a choice here. I feel that this could either be a decision, an important decision or choice that you have to make, or this could be this could possibly be a friend that will be coming in to help you with whatever this financial situation is. So it could be that as well. Again, in a general reading, it's very hard to, say specifically. So obviously, I hope that the messages resonate. If they don't, then I would encourage you to get a private reading with me, and we can take a look at specifically what's going on in your life. Continuing on, we have the last 2 cards. So in your hopes and fears, you have the Wheel of Fortune, and the outbound energy for the month is the 2 of Swords. So beginning with the Wheel of Fortune, major arcana number 10, we know that 10s are endings, right? And the Wheel of Fortune is an ending to some type of cycle. It's a very fated ending. It's a very, lots of karmic ties associated with the Wheel of Fortune. And it's all about fate and destiny and changes in luck, right? And new opportunities and vision and spiritual growth. And how, sometimes we're on the downswing of the Wheel of Fortune, right? And we have difficult times. And then other times we're on the upswing. So, it's all about the cycle. And so if you have been, and I would say that you have been with this card, and coming up in the future, I feel like you've been quite worried about whatever this financial situation is, that's ending now, right? There's a decision to be made, but that's definitely sort of on the way out here. And it's a new cycle beginning, right? And this has something to do, there are karmic ties with this. And so there is a new cycle beginning in your life. But I think that you have to have the insight to see what these new opportunities are in order to make this choice to begin on this new path. Okay, and the Two of Swords is a stalemate card. Typically, it's referred to as a stalemate card because the woman, she is blindfolded. She's carrying the two swords. They're in a very defensive she's in a defensive pose, right, with the two swords crossing her chest, so trying to protect herself from something, but she's unwilling to see things for what they are. Again, it's the saying, right? She has a blindfold on. She has the two swords of truth here, of justice, with this shining light at the top, right? So this sort of hope there, but she's unwilling to see things. Much like the woman here, she has her eyes closed on the Five of Cups, unwilling to see the other two cups there. So the Two of Swords, it's really it's cerebral energy, so it's thoughts, right? And it is all just in our mind, or it's not real. So we could easily make a decision here, right? All we have to do is remove the blindfold, right? Sort of confront, really see the problem at hand, and then make a decision. But with the blindfold on, the woman is refusing to see what this problem is, or refusing to make a decision. We see that here the ravens are sort of flying in opposite directions, kind of representing these two paths that she's having to figure out, which one is going to be the best one for her. So I do believe that this has to do with choices. And I would say, listen to guidance that you might be getting from friends, but more than anything, listen to, I think what the answer is here. And I think that you need, with the Queen of Swords cutting through things here, with also with, we had back here the High Priestess, coming out. I would say that you deep down, what you need to do and what the best path is for you and how to get out of this situation. And maybe you do need to turn to a friend and accept that person's help. Yes, this has to do with finances. It could be, but it could be, knowledge as well. And we have the Six of Pentacles, which is that give and take of knowledge. So maybe you're needing to receive some type of guidance or knowledge or exchange of, talking with a friend to be able to figure things out. And the two oracle cards that we have, they kind of echo that thought, I believe. Beginning with the Friendship card, this is from the Soul's Journey deck. And for the two oracle cards, I usually just read from the guidebook that comes with them. So the Friendship card says, all humans are created from the same source, but there are some souls that share a unique kinship. And that's what I was saying about this card, right? A kinship, more of a friendship. Friendship can be the most exciting and beautiful experience on earth, but it can also be frustrating and heartbreaking. Understand that everyone in your path is here to teach you something. It may be a year or a lifetime. Together you will teach each other various lessons of the heart, such as trust, love, loyalty, and admiration. The bonds of friendship are often stronger than those of family. You have formed a bridge of understanding between the two of you that has stood the test of time and of lifetimes. A true friend will illuminate your path instead of dim it. He or she would give advice with your best interests at heart. To be able to communicate at a soul level with another human being is the biggest treasure of the physical dimension. And I really believe that ties in very well with the Three of Cups, right? What I was just saying about the Five of Cups and the Lovers cards. I do believe that there's, for some of you out there, Taurus, there is a friend who's going to be particularly important over this next month to help you get through a certain situation, over a certain loss, make a decision on something. The other card is card number 14, which is called Asking Opens a Pathway. And this card says, Whenever I don't know what to do, I turn within and ask for guidance and answers. Then they come, sometimes slowly, sometimes quickly. A knowing, a sense, an image, a name, a next step, a possible pathway. I am discovering that answers come to me when I ask for them and when I give myself enough time and space to listen for them and receive them. I know that it is essential to ask for guidance with the expectation that I will receive it. I wait calmly and quietly for fresh insights and ideas to flow towards me. Asking gives me a sense of positive expectation and opens me to a world of possibility. I am learning to ask wiser questions all the time. Asking opens the door to new information and fresh energy and to the unexpected. So I did get that you need to ask possibly, right? Or you need to be open to receiving on this side. And then with the new pathways, needing to make the decision. I think those two cards they tie in very well with your reading for this month. So I definitely, I hope that you are able to navigate through whatever this is and make the decision that needs to be made. Possibly counting on, turning inwards, using your intuition, asking for help, and also counting on friends to get you through this. And I also hope that you have a wonderful month of December. It's a month usually that's quite busy for everybody, so I hope that you have a wonderful month. Please be looking out. I will post again the 2018 overview reading for each of the signs, so be looking out for that so you can have an idea of what is coming up in each of the months of the upcoming year. And just know that I'm sending you all much peace, love, and light. Bye.